If you are looking for one bag to replace them all, I'm talking your everyday carry, one bag travels, and bigger trips, then you should watch this Knack Pack Convertible Duffel review in its entirety. I'll break down whether it's the bag for you, and if it's not, at the end of the review, I'll give you some similar recommendations that might better suit your needs. Let us begin the review by talking about the gist of the Knack Pack Convertible Duffel. Knack Pack is a US backpack brand known for making really functional and versatile gear. And as the name suggests, it's a duffel that can also be converted into a backpack. But it actually does so much more than that. Because this bag is actually 24 liters, which is like a big everyday carry or a small one bag travel bag, but it can expand to 40 liters. So do you see what's happening here? You really have a pack that can kind of do it all. We've got some durable materials, 420D nylon on the exterior, except on the bottom, which is 840D nylon. Some really cool interior materials. I like the design. We got some really thoughtful organization that allows you to do the EDC/travel bag life quite well. As of recording, it only comes in one color option, black. We've got some sexy metal hardware, YKK zips, an internal water bottle holder that I know is going to be very controversial. I'm looking forward to the comments on that. It can fit up to a 15-inch laptop, and altogether weighs around 2.9 ounces. This is the pack when it's empty, and this is when it's fully packed out. Throughout this entire review, I'm gonna pack this bag out so you can see exactly what it fits. This is the bag on me. For reference, I'm 5'8". And for all that, as of recording, this bag runs around $275 US. But is it worth the hefty price tag? That's what we're gonna find out. But if at any point during this review you're like, holy moly, it's the bag of my dreams, totally worth the $275, I'm buying one, then we do ask that you do so using the first link in the description. That link makes sure that you get the best price, and it also helps to support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel. All right, let's start with the front of the Knack Pack Convertible Duffel. First up, the material. I mentioned it's 420D nylon. It's durable, it looks sexy, it's smooth to the touch, and it's got a decent amount of weather resistance to it. This material is PU coated, but take that with a grain of salt. Oftentimes these PU coatings are applied for weather resistance, but they sort of wear out over time. One thing to note while we're talking about the front too is I don't think that Knack Pack as a brand is necessarily the sexiest brand out there. I think they're definitely a function over form brand, which is not a bad thing. It just depends on your particular needs. But the logo, sort of the cut, it's a little flat. I just think that, you know, if you're looking for like that super sexy work bag, maybe a Nomatic or an airbag might be a better choice. But if you're like, dude, I don't give a about the way it looks, I just want the sickest, most functional bag ever, then please continue watching. But one thing you could definitely say about the front of this pack is it's quite minimalist, which will have pros and cons. The pro of that is it's cleaner, right? You've got these cuts, these fabric cuts that are, you know, essential for putting the bag together the way that it is, but there's no real pockets. A lot of bags will have like a quick pocket here, or think of like the Air Travel Pack 3, the iconic pack. There's a zipper cut right there. Those zippers make the bag maybe look a little bit more cluttered, but they do provide quick access that this bag is kind of lacking, in my opinion. There is some quick access on the back that we'll talk about a little bit later in the review, but really when it comes to the front, that's about it. Moving on, let's talk about the middle of the Knack Pack Convertible Duffel. This section is going to be a lot longer. Strap in. Let's start by talking about the sides. First of all, side number uno is the water bottle holder side. Now it's important to note that this is an internal/external water bottle solution. What I mean by that is that the water bottle holder is inside the bag, but you don't need to open the main compartment to grab your water bottle. Point in case, I've got a, how big are you? 500 milliliter water bottle right here, and it fits quite snug. You can see actually, if your water bottle is a bit taller, there'd be some room to spare, but in terms of like girthiness, you got some extra room to spare as well. But while I said the Knack Pack's not the super sexiest pack in the world, this does add an extra sense of sexification to the bag. There's no water bottle just sort of hanging out the side. And for urban travel, this is great. Provides a more like seamless, streamlined travel experience, without necessarily sacrificing accessibility, because when you're thirsty, you're like, oh my God, I could use some hydration right about now. Kaboom, the water bottle's there. And this also helps to keep the gear, your tech gear specifically, in the main compartment safe in case of a tragic situation that there is a spill. Other side, much simpler. We have a side handle, pretty basic side handle, some mesh, some nylon webbing. It's actually kind of a little guy. A lot of these side handles on backpacks are a lot bigger, but this is a little bit tighter. This will come in handy in general, right? When you just want to grab your bag, move it, different leverage points, but also when you go into duffel mode, you can carry it in this way, which I'll show you soon. Not yet. And on the top, same handle. This one actually has a little bit more room to do this. I like the comfort, I like the mesh. it's a solid handle. Now let's get inside the main compartment. I'll show you around there and then I'll show you how the whole expansion system works in just a second. Now, one cool thing about the main compartment is that we got these YKK zips, YKK, best zips in the game, and they are lockable. So if you have a little security lock, you can go ahead and pass it through, clip it shut, and then your gear is less likely to get thefted. The zipper heads too are metal, which adds a bit of weight, but gives it a little bit more of a premium feel. And you can see we are now fully clamshell opened, and voila, we're in the main compartment. Let's start on the back of the front panel. We got these two sort of external lash points. Elasticity, this is good for pens or maybe like a pen drive, right? Just something like thin that you want to slide on through and grab quicker. I think a pen drive would be better, but we'll go ahead and throw a few pens in there just so you can see its functionality. Beautiful. From there we got 2 zipper pockets. This zipper pocket is lined with like a microfiber anti-scratch material, super smooth. And because of that material, it's obviously a perfect location for things that are a little bit more fragile. Point in case being your sunnies. So you can go ahead and pop the sunglasses in there. It's a good spot for also reading glasses, maybe your cell phone. Zip it up, good to go. One thing to note too is that none of these zippers or the main compartment zipper or the laptop zipper or any single zipper on this backpack has a PU coating. PU coated zippers help keep the rain out, right? Now don't get me wrong, it's not like if it rains, it's going to automatically just go through the zippers, right? There is still some weather resistance, but none of these zippers have that PU coating, which kind of at this price point you might expect for 1 or 2 compartments, but definitely something you want to keep in mind. But they are YKK zips. Here we have a mesh pocket. Mesh is great because you can see through it. You know exactly what you put there. I don't love the feel of this mesh. I prefer a stretchier, more elasticy mesh. This mesh has like a stickiness to it almost, but it's a good spot for, I'm gonna put my wallet in there. This is the Frenchy Co. key wallet, which I'll talk about keys in a sec. Throw some snacks in there, AirPods, Panadol, right? You can see you can fit a lot of stuff, which is nice. But notice right here, we have a key holder, right? And you're like, Aaron, why didn't you put your keys on the key holder? I'm not crazy about this key holder. I don't like key holders that are like sort of just out and about. And they're just sort of like your keys are dangling and they're just like, when you're walking, it's doing one of these, like, it's like jingle bells, right? So I would have preferred if this key holder was actually in this compartment or in a different compartment of its own. But like I said, I'm using the Frenchy Co. key wallet right now. So all my keys are in the wallet, nifty little wallet. So I don't need to use this, but the good news is that if you want to remove the key ring solution, you absolutely can, and you can put it in a different location. So that's highly appreciated. Thank you, Knack Pack. Other side. Now this is where the bag starts to open up, literally. So let's load it up with some tech stuff. Remember, we're in everyday carry mode right now. iPad, keyboard, computer charger, backup battery, Kindle, Moleskine notebook, headphones, some light reading. Oops, I missed a pocket. Got the iPad, right? So back to the back of the front compartment panel. And this is actually advertised for your iPad. This is the iPad Air. Perfect fit. Yet again, microfiber material, which is nice when your iPad's in there. iPads are expensive. You want to just feel like extra protected, even if you have the case on it, right? Actually, I don't know if it's like that solid of a fit now that I think about it. It's a little flimsy for my taste. I would have preferred maybe there to be a location in the actual laptop compartment that you can slide your tablet in as well, which I don't think that there is. We'll find out in just a minute. But this is advertised as a tablet sleeve. I'm not gonna put my tablet there. My books go in there instead. I feel much better about that. And then on this side, we have the same mesh compartment, same mesh materials, a couple of external lash points at the top. I'll put my Moleskine in here if it'll fit. Oh yeah. Perfect fit, Kindle, backup battery. And then the actual main compartment, we'll do the big old bulky headphones. I'll throw the laptop charger in there. And remember, we got the water bottle in here. So one thing to note about an external, internal water bottle solution is that it's gonna take up space in the main compartment. Not too much, you can see it's, interjecting here, so it's not a deal breaker or the end of the world, but also something that you need to be aware of. I'll throw a jacket in there. Yeah, and now we're EDCing. Kind of, like for me, 24 liters is pretty big for an everyday carry. But because of the lightness of this pack, this pack at 2.9 ounces is lighter than some smaller backpacks, like 17-liter bags that are like 3 pounds, right? So you get a bit extra bulk, but not too much extra weight. And you can see we zip it on up. And yeah, for EDC mode, we're like good, man. Comfort's nice, we'll talk about that in a second. I just wanna show you, the sort of Knack Pack lifestyle, because it's like, cool. So you're like, I'm not EDCing today, I'm traveling today. And that's when we enter expansion mode. So to enter Knack Pack expansion mode, you can see we have these 2 clips at the bottom of this panel, right? And what you do, remove these clips, and voila, the panel is now free. And now we have the travel section, which you're like, Aaron, that's a bit light though, you know? Like we're still in 24 liters, and this then is where you will expand to 40 liters. Allow me to show you the expansion can be found behind this lip, right? So you have this sort of fabric right here around the edge of the bag. That helps to provide extra water resistance and sexification, because you don't want to see that zipper unless you need it. So you just go ahead and de-lip, pull this zip all the way around. It's actually a really smooth expansion process. Some of these expansion packs are nowhere near as smooth as this, and it goes the full circumference, I think that's the right word. Aaron did not pass geometry, but I think it's circumference of the bag. And now we're in 40 frickin' liter mode, and now underneath this panel, we now have basically an extra 60% of the room. Aaron also didn't pass algebra, so I'm not good at math, but you get what I'm saying here, right? We have a bigger backpack, 24 to 40 liters. And then what's quite cool is this compartment almost acts as like a hidden area, like a hidden gate for this area, but it also acts as a very functional compression strap, which let me show you in just a second. So it's like, I gotta head to Japan for some super secret business operation that my boss won't give me any details about. Whatever, I trust him. Let's pack. Got a packing cube from Manal. Go ahead and throw it on the bottom. Perfect size. Smaller packing cube with the undies and the socks. This is good for like 3-4 days of travel. I got a bathroom pouch from Wandered. I've got a tech pouch from Nomatic, hard shell, keeping my nice and safe. Throw an extra sweater in there, keyboard, extra glasses, and kaboom, I'm ready for my freaking flight to Japan. And then you just go ahead and clip these bad boys in on either side. You can compress it a little bit, right? Keep everything nice and tidy. You are now in the Knack Pack Convertible Duffel experience. Don't get me wrong, it's a little loose in here. Like the compression isn't like the best compression I've ever seen in my life. And that's the whole thing with this bag, you have to take into consideration. Any bags that are trying to do more than one thing never do one thing perfectly. I've seen it a million times. It doesn't mean that it's not great, right? Because like what you're losing in maybe, you know, like there's other 40 liters that can compress and like pack out a little bit better than this. But one thing they can't do is convert into a duffel and also de-expand into an everyday carry that's 24 liters, right? So these are the pros and the cons that you have to consider when making a purchase for you. And throw my headphones on there, my charger, a little sling. This is the Air Go Sling 2 for when I get to my destination. And wow, I mean, that thing, it grew. But yet again, a note on the sexification point that I said earlier, bags that expand don't really have a super great look to them when fully expanded. And Knack isn't the sexiest brand in general. So you can see right here with the expansion, you got like this weirdness kind of going on, but that's gonna make some of you guys be like, oh, deuces, I'm out. And the other people that are still here, you're like, I don't care. Like, this is awesome that I get to do so many things with my bag. I think what Knack Pack did here is actually pretty impressive. This is probably one of the better convertible bags I've ever seen. It's really easy to F this up, and Knack Pack did not, so bravo. Okay, let's talk about the back of the Knack Pack Convertible Duffel. You might be thinking to yourself, Aaron, but what about this whole duffel thing? It's in backpack mode. I'll feed you little birdies. Let's talk about duffels. So you can see right here on the side of the backpack with the handle, we have 1, 2 buckles. Yet again, this is Knack Pack nailing it because they put the buckles sort of at a little distance from each other, which just sort of helps redistribute the weight and make the duffel carrying experience better. One thing to note is that these buckles are plastic, but the attachment buckles on the shoulder strap for the duffel are metal. Yet again, gives it kind of a sexy feel, a little bit more weight. I don't know if it was necessary, but you know what? I like it. Simple connection, 1, 2, and now we have a duffel. Now here's the thing with duffel mode. Let me show you how the whole like backpack duffel thing works, right? So let's say you're in duffel mode and you're like, oh my God, it's too heavy. I don't wanna be in duffel mode no more. You just undo the duffel straps. I'd probably just throw them in the main compartment. And then on this back side is where you control backpack mode. Now if you're in duffel mode, these things are probably going to be hidden away. And hiding the straps is super simple. Yet again, bottom, metal here, plastic here, and you got this zippered section where you just go ahead, push them down there, unplug again, and now you're nice and clean, right? Now, this mode is obviously great when you're wearing it as a duffel, but like I said, if the flight attendant, who may not have been having the best day ever, extracts her revenge out on you and forces you to check the bag in that you probably shouldn't have had to have checked. It's nice then to be able to take it out of backpack mode, so there's not a bunch of dangle going around. It's less likely to get caught in things, just a cleaner, more seamless experience. That's what that's for, and it's also nice too when you're putting the bag overhead. Yet again, more seamless. And then when you wanna go into backpack mode, you just unzip, take out the shoulder straps, clip them into place, and we are back packing. Some notes on the backpack shoulder straps. Decent mesh, decent breathability, decent comfort. It's kind of thin. If you're used to like bags like Peak Design, this has a bit more padding than that. But if you're used to bags like Air, or it's like the Air mattress experience, as I like to refer to it as. It's gonna be thinner than that, but overall, this thing's pretty packed out. I don't have my laptop in there yet, but yeah, it's got a nice comfort to it. It'll probably break in a little bit over time. Here we have a sternum strap, which while I've been a fan of the Knack Pack Convertible Duffel so far, I'm not a fan of this sternum strap, really. 2 reasons. First up right here, we got a little excess dangle, or a lot of excess dangle, and let me tell you, I'm a dangle hater, and I'm not afraid to admit it. And while the sternum strap is removable, it's like weird removable, like you can only remove like 90% of it. The other 10% just kind of sticks out with these little chodes right here, which is fine for functionality, but not for sexification. And before you ask Aaron, you can just take them off. No, you can't. These are stuff. These are permanent. So these guys are on the bag permanently. Further south, we have dangle stoppers down here, right? So we have the excess dangle. We have this web holder, which keeps the dangle in its place. Buckles from Duraflex. They make some of the best buckles in the game, them and Woojin. And yeah, the comfort of these guys is nice. But what about the back panel? Because the comfort of a bag is not just the shoulder straps. It also comes down to this back panel, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, not the greatest back panel that I've seen, but not the worst. It's nice because we got some nice foam padding, comfy, cozy, pressed against your back. You get that extra comfort there. But the ventilation's not gonna be too hot. I could have used maybe a little bit more 3-dimensionality here to help the ventilation, the wind just sort of shooting through your back on those hot, sweaty days in Japan, right? Japanese summers are hot. I need a breeze to keep my back nice and cool. But overall, it gets the job done. Notice here we have a luggage pass-through holder. So when you are in luggage mode, you can go ahead and slide it through the handle. This is great when you're in duffel mode. I'd recommend just making sure that the laptop compartment, which we'll talk about in just a second, is on the top, not on the bottom, just so there's no accidents or your laptop sort of falls out. And then one cool note is right here, we have a hidden zippered pocket. This is great for your passport, or since you're probably a spy who's heading to Japan for spy reasons, multiple passports, am I right? I'm a spy too. You can fit that back there. I got 3 passports in there, baby. The more bulk that you put in this back pocket, the more that you might feel it on your back, which is why 1 passport is probably better, but I don't want to interfere with your spy lifestyle. Yeah, hidden pockets are tight. And I know because I'm actually building my own backpack, and we got a couple hidden pockets in there. And you're like, what? This backpack reviewer, this random jabroni talking about the Knack Pack is building his own backpack? I am. But not only am I building my own backpack, I'm actually documenting the entire process on this YouTube channel, and I'm getting you in on the action. That means I'm doing votes, I'm running surveys on things like the features, the hidden pockets, the colors of the bag, the materials. So if you want to join my journey, see what it's like to build a game-changing backpack from the ground up, and vote on some of the key features, be sure to click the second link in the description. That'll show you all the information you need. You can sign up to the email list, and you'll be given a survey right away. I hope to see you in your inbox. Back to this guy. Last point is the laptop compartment. We've got a side access laptop compartment, which can be a bit controversial, but I don't know why. I dig side access laptop compartments. Got the zipper right here, yet again YKK. It can fit up to a 15-inch laptop, so my 13-inch M2 MacBook Pro slides in super smoothly. Side laptop compartments like these are great for accessibility, super easy to grab your laptop when you need it, but I really wish that there was a PU-coated zipper there. Let's talk about the overall pros and the overall cons of the Knack Pack Convertible Duffel. Pro number 1, versatility. It speaks for itself. It can do so much. Pro number 2 is I like the way that the compression panel separates the main compartment from the expanded compartments. You have kind of like EDC and then travel on the bottom. That was smart. And pro number 3 is I like these internal materials because when your bag is full, it helps to create a highlight effect, which makes it easier to find the gear in your bag. But some cons. Con number 1 is lack of PU coating on any of the zippers. Con number 2 is a lack of a PU coating specifically on the laptop compartment zipper. And con number 3 is any backpack like this that does so many things will never do one thing perfectly. So while it's versatile, just keep in mind that there is that trade-off. So if you've taken all the pros and all the cons into consideration and you're thinking, holy, I'm getting a Knack Pack Convertible Duffel this moment, then we do ask that you make your purchase using the first link in the description. Remember, that link makes sure that you get the best price. We don't want you to get ripped off. But it also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel, which we greatly appreciate. Thank you. But as promised, here are some alternative recommendations that I think might better suit your needs. Alternative recommendation number 1 is the Knack Pack backpack. This is for you if you're totally digging the whole versatility thing, but you're like, I actually don't need the whole duffel. I'm just a backpack guy. The Knack Pack Convertible Backpack is bringing basically all the same things to the table, a little bit different of a take. And if you're totally feeling that Knack lifestyle, then you're gonna wanna watch that full review, which you can find in the description below. Alternative recommendation number 2 is gonna be the Nomatic Travel Pack. This is for you if you're like, dude, businessy, yes. Convertible, yes. Expandable, yes. But I kinda want something a little bit, I don't know, business sexier. Then you're gonna wanna watch our full review on the Nomatic Travel Pack. It can do a whole ton of stuff, and you can find a link to our full review in the description below. And alternative recommendation number 3 is going to be the Black Ember Forge. Similar to the Knack Pack Convertible Duffel, the Black Ember Forge can do so many things, right? Duffel mode, backpack mode, expand, contract. But it just does it in a different way, very different. Like Knack Pack and Black Ember are polar opposites in terms of their branding and their style and their aesthetic, and you might wanna discover why, and you can do so in the description below. If you're still here, you might be looking for a really good business backpack. That's Knack Pack's specialty. And if that's the case, you're gonna wanna watch this video. In it, we talk about our favorite business backpacks, what we look for in a business backpack, and where to get the best prices for the best bags on the market. Check out the video now. My name's Aaron. This is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.